If you have the desire to build a more consistent and repeatable golf swing, then the drill that I'll share with you today will help you to do just that, regardless of your current level of play. This drill helps to build the basic motion of the swing, which can obviously be helpful for the beginner golfer, someone who's new to the game, but it's equally valuable to an expert player looking to refine their swing. In fact, 5 minutes of this drill every single day would change your golf game immeasurably. It would help you to build a better golf swing, which would ultimately result in a better golf game. Let me show you exactly what I want you to do. This drill is the head on the wall drill. It trains basic movements, and it's a valuable drill because it does so by using your head as a reference point. You touch your head on the wall and you keep that fixed point from this front view where you swing around a stable head. You'd know that that's true of good golf swings. And from down the line, as you bend forwards and the head touches the wall, you'll notice how good swings maintain this inclination to the ground. The golfer's head isn't bobbing up and down. It's pretty stable in the backswing, in the downswing, and into the follow through. So we're going to use the head on the wall drill to build up from a very basic motion and a very simple slow motion all the way to hitting full shots. So for the head on the wall drill, you're going to need a wall or a door frame or something that you can rest your head on. In this case, I've just set up my training station with the iRange Sports tripod. I've got the rod coming out and I'm going to rest my head on the rod as I do this exercise. So this is maintaining a fixed touch point throughout the course of this entire drill. We're going to start out basic, no club, no ball, and we'll progress through this slowly so that you can build up through the phases. Remember, if you can't do this at full speed or with a club in your hands, starting there doesn't really make much sense. Let's learn the movements first and then add the club as we go. Rest your head on the wall and keep that fixed point throughout the entirety of the movement. For the most basic movement, I'm going to rest my hands on my legs, on my thighs. And as I start to move into a backswing, we're going to start by changing my knee flex, allowing my left hand to go down towards my left knee and my right hand to start working up towards my right hip. That's teaching the tilting, the turning, and the extension that I need to make a centered pivot from the front view, meaning that my head's still staying centered and my axis is staying stable, and to help me maintain this inclination from a down the line view, the tilting. And then in the follow through, what we want is actually just to push the pelvis and the weight here, the lower body weight, as far forwards as possible while still maintaining my head on the wall. So I don't want to just twist or turn my hips. That wouldn't be correct. My weight's not moving forward. The exercise and the feeling you want with head on the wall for the follow through is to move the pelvis to the front the most. Keep pushing your hips as far forward as you can. Both of my legs are straight and I've got 95% of my weight into my lead foot. I'm going to go as far as I can with that feeling as a bit of a stretch up my lead side here in order to maintain this position. But again, my head's steady from this front view and I'm tilted to the ground still from the down the line view. You can see how I'm able to maintain this inclination to the ground. Start out like that. You can even put your arms across your chest if it's more comfortable. Make the full backswing pivot with the knees changing flex, the hips turning and the shoulders tilting. The downswing, we're going to return back towards the ball and we're going to keep moving that pelvis forwards, tucking my butt and my hips forward and underneath me as much as I can. That's the basic pivot where the head is steady and stable and the lower center stays stable in the backswing and then moves forward in the downswing. That's really the first place to begin with this. If you can start out doing 5 minutes of this a day, even without a club at home, you're going to really start to reap some benefits. The next step here would be to start to hold an imaginary club, meaning we're going to introduce the arms. So now I'm going to let my arms hang down in front of me and I'm going to make a grip as if I'm holding a club. Same touch point with my head on the wall. And if you're standing inside a door frame here, you're still going to be able to make this movement and swing your arms just like I'm doing in the space that you have below your body here. So you're going to touch the wall or touch the door frame with your head, allow your arms to hang down. And one of the great benefits to doing this exercise in this station is I've got the grid set up on the mat here using the T-claw. Now, what's the use of the grid in this exercise? I want to show you how you can use this diagram to help you build the right sort of arm structure to add to the body positions that we're already training. So, head on the wall, arms hanging down. Make the pivot back to around P3 where the left arm's parallel to the ground. So from this front view, you see how my lead arm's parallel to the ground. And from this down the line view, I'm going to look to get the arm matching the angled hand path string there that we have with the T-claw on the mat. So I don't want to lift my arms off the grid and have them out away from me. And equally, I don't want to have them so far around me that I'd never be able to make a functional swing. So this hand path line here in the backswing is going to give me a reference for exactly how far around me to start moving my arms. Keeping my head touching the wall, I'm going to begin to swing down towards the ball. Remember, the pelvis is moving forward. The hips are starting to slide towards the target. We're transferring the weight with the lower body. As I'm doing that, my arms are going to come back down the grid, going to reach the ball, and then I'm going to keep moving into the follow through, just like I was doing earlier without the arms. I'm adding in the arms, and this time, again, I can use the grid on the ground. The hand path line that I have on the follow through side of the grid is going to be the line that I use as a reference for where my trail arm should now be. So that means I'm not swinging my arms too far away and off my body here, and equally, I'm not just swiping them across me and spinning around. So the grid line, specifically the hand path here, can be a very useful reference as you do the head on the wall drill and just develop this drill to the next level. Left arm parallel with the ground. We've got the hand path grid line there as a reference. Move the hips forward, keeping the head on the wall to where the right arm's parallel with the ground, and I'm using the grid line as my reference. This is the point in the follow through where the head should still be touching the wall. This is the last point in the follow through where the head should be touching the wall, where the arms are parallel to the ground. That's the point of maximum extension and maximum tilt. After this point, the head would come away from the ground. So whenever you're doing this exercise, make sure that in the follow through, the maximum point for which your head's touching the wall is when your arms are parallel to the ground. For most of you, I would tell you to spend all of your time doing the exercise just as I described. No club, no ball, just doing the dry drills at home, head on the wall. You'll see a huge benefit in your regular golf swing just by taking the time to learn the correct arm and body motion while using the head as the reference point for the stability in the swing. But if you do want to transfer into hitting some balls or making swings with the club, you can do that. You're going to need to set up a slightly different station. Resting your head on the wall won't work anymore once you're holding a golf club. But you can do this with your golf bag and just figure out how to angle an alignment stick out of your golf bag for something for you to rest your head on. I have students sending me videos every week of their swings where they have the similar type of station set up. Rest your head on the stick, take your golf posture and hold onto your golf club. No ball at this stage, but I can now start to make full back swings, swing down, keeping my head on the rod, hitting the ground, moving into the follow through, transferring into this right tilt through impact by keeping my head on the wall and moving my hips forward is probably the biggest value and the most beneficial part of this drill. I would say that the golfing masses in general, the poorest players, do not know how to transfer effectively from this left tilt in the backswing to this right tilt in the follow through. So just keeping your head on the wall and making these practice swings where I'm conscious of hitting the ground, keeping my head touching the stick and moving my hips forward to produce this right tilt that helps me reach the ground. As I say, 5 minutes of this a day could completely transform your golf game. Most of you are not doing that simple movement anywhere near effectively enough in your regular swing. And then the final part of this exercise would be, can I hit a ball? Well, yes, you can. It does become a little bit challenging because resting your head on anything is going to feel a bit strange as you're swinging with speed. Plus, the head doesn't stay precisely still. It can move around a little bit. So you really just want to have an awareness that your head's staying close enough to this touch point. Also, setting it up in a way where it's exactly the right distance away from the ball can take a little bit of effort, but that effort is relatively small in terms of the return and the reward you're going to get from doing this drill. So head on the stick, get the feeling of moving around me. Remember, the follow through, I'm only going to go through to where the arms are parallel to the ground. That's the end of my swing. I'm not making a full swing where my head comes up and away from the rod, which it would do and it should do if you were making a complete follow through. We're just training through to this point in the follow through where the arms and club are parallel to the ground. Just going to move a tiny bit closer because I can see that I'm reaching for this a little bit. Okay, that feels good. Go ahead and hit one. Felt pretty good. Can certainly feel like I'm stayed more tilted to the ground than I would in a full swing where I allowed myself to come away from the ground. This will help to train better contact, the consistency of your strike, because we have this fixed reference point. It also helps to train a better swing path, because again, turning around that stable axis and that stable inclination gives me a greater chance of managing the swing direction effectively. So tremendous benefit whether you're just starting out or if you're an expert player struggling with some swing direction issues. Having this touch point and the head on the wall as your reference can really help to tidy up your swing direction and help you hit better shots. Felt pretty good again. I think the value of this drill really can't be overstated, and it's a very meaningful way to learn the basic movements of the golf swing. The dictionary definition of the word basic is to form an essential foundation, something that's fundamental. That would seem like a great place to be if you're learning the golf swing, but don't mistake the word basic for easy. Just because these basic movements are necessary and essential doesn't mean that they're straightforward unless you know how to train them. Many people learn the golf swing without any guidance or any reference for how to move. So training your body to move correctly can only have benefits long term, not just to your golf game now and in the future, but your ability to play this game for a long time injury free. We're going to use the body as it's designed, learn the basic movements and reap the benefits throughout your entire game. I want this video to be a reference to you for how to build good body motion throughout the golf swing, and you can benefit from this exercise whether you're a brand new golfer or someone who's been playing for many years. The benefits of this drill with no golf club and no golf ball should not be underestimated. I think golfers often think they're only really practicing when they're hitting a ball, and nothing could be further from the truth. The value of making slow, meaningful practice swings with a purpose, using the head on the wall as your reference, will train better body motion, which I guarantee will help you to play better golf. Commit to 5 minutes a day for the next week. If you manage that, then just try to stretch it out to a fortnight. Give this a month and you won't believe how much better your golf swing will become. Give it a try and let me know how you get on. I hope I was able to demonstrate the value of this drill in today's video and share with you some information that you'd possibly not seen before. If you did enjoy the video today and found it educational, I'd love for you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you find it difficult to keep your head on the wall throughout the entire motion, the likelihood is you're not moving the lower body correctly. This video I made right here, which you can click on next, teaches you the correct movement of the hips in the downswing and the follow through.